December is often talked about as the busiest time of the year. And whether or not that is the case for you, we are going to run through a few things that we can focus on this season that will help us feel our best without too much extra effort.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
So, whether or not you are celebrating the Christmas season, this does tend to be a very chaotic time of year. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of extra stimulation everywhere. You can't walk into a store without loud Christmas music playing, and there's lots of colors everywhere. And there's just a lot going on. There's extra parties, there's extra social events, there's extra activities in your communities, there's a lot of projects, there's cookie making, there's just a lot going on. And we really want to take time to enjoy these things without getting overwhelmed. But sometimes the stress of all of it means that we just don't even know where to start because everything is happening and it doesn't feel like we have time to figure it out. So, I'm going to help you out a little bit because I wanted to think about this and I wrote down 5 habits that you can do now to help you get through the busiest time of the year while still feeling great. And these are not going to be crazy things that take a lot of extra time. Hopefully, they will actually free up time for you and give you more time back in your day so that you can continue to enjoy things and not be overwhelmed and overstimulated, and you can actually just relax and soak up the season. So, number 1 is to pick a stretching routine or an exercise to complete each morning in a short amount of time. Now, this is something that even if you don't have a regular exercise routine, this is something that I would encourage you to do because you're going to feel better. There is something about stretching, especially. So, this could literally be like set your timer for 5 minutes and just move your body, just stretch it and see how it goes. You can do, a goal of 100 jumping jacks every morning or do the progression push-ups where you start with maybe 5 push-ups and then you move to 10 push-ups and you'd move to 15 push-ups. Like you can do whatever you want. I don't care what you do, but I would encourage you to have some sort of motion or activity right away in the morning to get your body moving that you enjoy and even do it for just a very short amount of time. And a little bit is going to be better than nothing. It's going to make you feel good. So, if you're new to any sort of exercise or movement or anything like that, I would just start with stretching and just like literally just move and work out the kinks in your body, and you're going to feel so much better. And by the time you get to the new year, you might find that you can reach your toes a heck of a lot better than you could at the beginning or at the start. So just test it out. It only takes a few minutes and it will make you feel much better. Habit number 2 is to drink your water and focus on your vegetables. So, this one, it's not a routine, but it is a habit that is very, very important, especially when it's a time of year with lots of extra social events and parties and things like that, and sugar cookies and all sorts of treats going around. I'm not saying skip those things, like, absolutely have at it, go for it, but don't skip out on your water and your vegetables because you're going to feel better when you are well hydrated and you're still getting your nutrients and fiber and everything that you get from your vegetables. So, if you need to, drink a glass of water, eat some vegetables, and then enjoy your treats. So, you're still not skipping it out on it, but you're going to feel so much better. Habit number 3 is to be intentional with your screen time. This is where we really want to reduce that extra noise. And a lot of us, if we get overwhelmed, we end up just picking up our phones and we just start scrolling because we're trying to tune out the noise and we're like overstimulated. So what we really need to do is just shut our phones down and well not literally shut your phone. Well maybe you want to literally shut your phone down, but what I'm saying is like you really want to reduce your screen time as much as possible. So when you are feeling like there's just a lot going on, put your phone away from you so that you can't even just grab it out of habit and be really intentional about when you're actually going to use your phone. So be intentional about when you're going to check your messages. When you're done checking your messages, put it away. When you are at an event, really like soak up that time, soak up those memories. If you have your phone, then take some pictures to capture those memories and then put your phone away. I always think that it's kind of crazy how much better I feel when I don't have the stress of being on my phone because if I'm on my phone, I'm just like attached to it. And then time goes by and everything just starts feeling overwhelming. Where if I don't have my phone, I have more time to focus on other things and I have break time and I have silence. And that is a very rare thing when it's the busiest time of the year. So, reducing your screen time and being very intentional about when you are on your phone and when your phone is with you is going to make a really big difference, especially if you are like the majority of people out there that have become addicted to their phones. So, this can be a really, really big one, but it can make a dramatic difference in how you feel throughout this season. And then number 4 is to make double dinners for each night for a few nights and throw the extras in the freezer. So this is not creating more work for you. I'm not saying take a whole afternoon in this busy time and prep dinners and things like that. I'm saying do what you're already doing, but just make extra. So if you're already making lasagna for dinner, just make an extra pan and throw it in the freezer for a quick meal later on when you are feeling extra busy or you just need a night off. You have it already prepped and ready to go. If you are making soup or chili or you're making chicken, like shred your extra chicken and put those things in the freezer so that they make really, really quick meals later on. I was just talking to my sisters. We had made shepherd's pie when they were here, and it's basically like a meat and vegetable gravy base. It sounds gross if you've never had it, but it's actually pretty good. And we made a homemade version and we put mashed potatoes over the top, and then you roast it in the oven to get like the potatoes all like crusty on top. And then it's just a really warm and comforting meal. And we were talking about that and we're like, you could just do instead of just regular beef broth, you could do, bone broth and have it higher in protein and all these other things. And then we were talking about how you can actually freeze that gravy, meat, and vegetable mixture. And you can freeze the mashed potato layer. And somebody was like super smart and you could spread it out on like a sheet pan and freeze it in the shape that you need it. So then when you need that quick meal, you can literally just throw it in a pan on the bottom after you let it thaw overnight, and then pop that frozen mashed potato disc on the top in your casserole dish and pop it in the oven, and you already have a meal ready to go that is super warm and comforting and like that home cooked style meal, but it doesn't take you any extra work because you were already going through the process of making it. You just made extra, and now you have an extra meal by only doing all the work once. So it's things like that where you just want to make extra and do that for a few nights in a row. And all of a sudden, you have a bank of dinners that are going to be easy to grab and go on those busier nights or when you just want to hang out with your family and play games and you can just pop something in the oven for dinner and you don't have to worry about cooking it because you've already done the work ahead of time. So that is something to really get in the habit of doing, especially this time of year, but even all year long. If you this is not a habit you already have, it's one that can make a big difference in relieving some of that stress at any point that you need to. And then habit number 5 is to pick a few non negotiable tasks to maintain in your home every day. And this can be whatever you want it to be. If the daily 7 home routine is too extreme for you right now, this is a good way to get in the habit of starting small and building up to it. But this will at least help you get through this busy season by keeping certain pieces of your home reset. And that is going to feel really good. And if it's easy to do, then you can add one or two more and see how it goes. And then you can build on it however you want. But for example, one of the habits you might want is to make sure that you wash or put away dishes before you ever leave the kitchen. So if you're in the kitchen, you just want to take a look around before you leave and say, do I need to put any clean dishes away? Are they done drying? Are they in the dishwasher? Or are there any dirty dishes that need to be washed? So do one of them every time before you leave the kitchen. So you're always staying on top of dishes and they're never going to be super crazy overloaded. Another one might be to always make sure that you are washing dishes as you go when you are cooking in the kitchen, because dishes can be huge this time of year that they pile up. So let's stay on top of those dishes. So, is having a hot, soapy sink full of water a good habit to have where every time you go in and you're washing or you're cooking something, you're washing the dishes as you go so they never really pile up? And that is a great habit to have. Another one might be to just make sure you're doing at least one load of laundry every day. So you don't have to take your whole afternoon to do laundry, but if you stick to one load a day, then it's going to at least reduce your laundry when it comes time to doing all of it. Or maybe the one load a day is going to be enough for your family to keep up with laundry. And you're never going to have that overwhelming day of laundry because you've been keeping up with it all week. And it's easy to do when you're only focused on doing one load a day because it really only takes just a couple of minutes to do a load of laundry. It's just the mental, mindset shift that we have to get over. It does not take long to do a load of laundry, but when we have piles and piles of laundry, that's when it becomes really overwhelming. So we just focus on one load a day and it is a non-negotiable, and then all of a sudden, we no longer have a piling laundry issue. So that can make a really big difference. Another, one of these non-negotiable tasks might be to just make sure you're vacuuming your house every day. So you if you've been here for a while, you probably know that I don't sweep all that often because I hate sweeping, but I will run a vacuum cleaner every day through our entire house on hard surfaces, on the carpet, everything, on the rugs, all of that. So I literally take our vacuum cleaner every day and I run through the main level of the house and I go all the way through. I go up the steps and I go through the top level of the house because our house is two levels. And so we do all that and then I bring it back down to the basement after I unload the little canister thing. And that is something that I do every day because it makes such a big difference to just clean the floors in your home. And it doesn't take very long. It's just a matter of getting it done, and it just feels so much better. So that could be a non-negotiable, especially if you hate sweeping. Think about just vacuuming your whole house like I do. When you are looking at this, another one might be just making sure that the entryway stays clear. So this might be doing your coats and shoes. They just need to go in the closet right away. So that isn't necessarily a task that needs to happen, but it's something that you're being more intentional about when you are taking your coats and your shoes off and your family is taking these off, making sure that they get hung up and the shoes get put away in the right spot before you walk away. And that is going to make a big difference rather than just having a pile of shoes and coats being flung everywhere. Like, we want to make sure these things are taken care of right away so that we're not cleaning up the mess later. Like, you have to put it down somewhere. So you might as well put it down on a hanger instead of on the floor, right? So it's just a matter of being intentional about these things and making these little shifts and changes and making sure our family is aware of that as well. If you are struggling with a lot of like scattered things everywhere and it's not where they go, then maybe a habit is to like not threaten your family, but kind of threaten your family. Like, I'm gonna take a laundry basket through, and if everything is like, if there's anything that is out of place that you have not put away, that needs to be put away, it's going in the basket and it's just gonna get chucked at the end of the day. Like, maybe that's something that needs to happen for your family to actually go and put their stuff away so that you don't have to deal with it. Like, there are nice ways of going about it, but sometimes there are also desperate ways of just making sure things get done. So I'm not gonna judge. It's just kind of something funny I thought of. I'm like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I remember this happening when we were little, that mom She just got tired of us not picking up after ourselves, and that made us pick up after ourselves because we didn't want our stuff thrown away, so we had to go and put it away before mom would throw it away. Like, it actually worked, so maybe that would work for you too. So those are some just quick things that I went through and I was writing down, like, I know these would help me. I hope that by thinking these things through, they will help you as well because we definitely want to enjoy this time of year, whether it is really busy for you or not. These are things that could help just give you extra time and make it feel less stressed and you can be more relaxed as you're going into the new year. And these are really amazing habits that could carry into the new year as well. And you can have them lasting long term. As long as you like them. I mean, if you start one of these things and you absolutely hate it, then obviously don't keep doing it if you hate it. But if it's going to help you and you're enjoying it, then keep up with it because it's just going to keep getting better and it will give you more time and energy back by just doing these little tweaks and keeping up with these little habits consistently. So, we're going to go through and recap those. I keep wanting to say 4 because I originally wrote down 4 and I added the 5th. So, 5 habits to get you through the busiest time of year while feeling great is number 1, pick a stretching routine or exercise to complete each morning in a short amount of time. Number 2, make sure you are drinking your water and eating your veggies. Try and do it before any treats. Number 3, be intentional with your screen time to reduce that noise. Be super, super intentional. That can make a huge difference here. Number 4 is to make double dinners each night for a few nights and then throw them in the freezer for quick dinners later on. And number 5, pick a few non negotiable tasks to help maintain your home each day. Test these out and see how they go. I would love to hear what your habits are, or what your non negotiables are, or what you choose to do for each of these things. And let me know how it goes. If you want to share that with me, you can go and join our free Facebook community at theroutineadvantagecommunity.com. And you can just answer the questions when you request to join so we can get you in there and make sure that you are not spam and that you're a real person. And we'll get you in there. And then you can share what you have chosen to do with us. And then maybe it'll give other people ideas as well. But we would love to hear from you. And I hope that this is helpful and that you are able to absolutely enjoy this Christmas season.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.